Clean, 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 clean. She talked about that earlier. You say clean, 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 and she says bleed, 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 bleed. And these syringes are the worst in the world. I don't know. These were in your kits. These are horrible syringes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
These are really bad to try and give IMs with. They're going to be okay for pushes. Okay, so we're going to give. We're going to do 20. So I want to do 2 cc's.
I've only got 3 over here. Somebody wants 2 over here.
That's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So you want your needle. You want your needle below. Okay. You're going to draw back. 2 cc's. Okay. I draw back a little more. Can see all that air. Get rid of that air. And if I can't get it, tap it. Okay, and it'll bring it up. Okay. So bring it in. Get all that air up. Okay. Make sure. Alright, so looking again, I'm going to give, this is 10 per ml, I'm going to give 20, so I need 2 cc's, right? Okay. You can then take this off, put a red dead ender if you want to. You don't have to, but you can if you don't want to walk around with a needle and that's got air in it. Okay. These syringes are really, really horrible. Hopefully we got you guys better ones.
So do we use the needle for the IV? Okay, so we'll take the needle off.
Yeah, take it off, put a dead ender on, or you can leave it on, okay? Because what I do is now I got to mark my tag with my orange. Okay, and what I have to do, I'll put the patient's name in it, and I put it on here. Okay, because if you put it down here, you can't see. So I usually will put it on here and leave it on here. Okay, so what else do I need? I'm going to do a push. What else do I need? 2 what? 2 saline flushes, okay? And again, the hospital, with a peripheral, okay, you could do, they're all the same. They're all like a 10 cc, but with 5 cc's or 3 cc's in it. Because the central line, you absolutely have to use the bigger PSI. Okay, so we need 2 of these. This is marked with Lasix and the patient's name on it, okay? So this is ready to go, all right? So I'm going to put those there. You always have alcohol with you. All right, so now we're going to prime for our secondary, all right? Make sure you have this, okay? Because it's got to lower your primary, okay? Who wants to prime? Who has done IV priming?
I'll do it. We've all done it. Check off. I think we've all done it.
Yeah. All right. So you want this, okay? As soon as I take it out, I close this. Now the big thing with this then, now you're going to check this with your MOR because your patient's name is Levaquin. It's 500 milligrams in what? 100. Usually we'll give this, how fast? Anybody know? 100 cc's, okay. We're going to give 100 cc's over 1 hour, which would, how will we set the pump at then?
125.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
I have a bad question.
Oh, 100. Oh, okay.
All right, now I'm going to tell you at the hospital, these are not usually mixed. As you saw in the book, there's a thing attached to it, and you have to fold this up, and you push the fluid in, shake, and then you got to go like this to make it come back in, okay? And then you got to look and make sure it's all mixed. So, and there's different, I mean, it's all different. We never know what we're going to get. Sometimes there are crimes, not often. Okay, take that off, this off. Ooh. Is it the other one?
Is it the other side?
It says add.
It's the other side.
I thought that was to add the medicine.
Yeah, me too.
Is that?
I was like, is it the other side? Okay. So,
They don't-
Lord, I've been doing it wrong
No,
all
you
this
haven't been
time.
doing it
I
right.
got one right.
Okay.
No wonder I didn't do it.
The big thing, did they talk to you guys about backlash?
No.
Okay, then we're not worried.
What is it, now that you said that?
Yeah, so maybe they have.
Yeah, just to remind
Yeah.
us, we haven't got missed.
Okay, it's going through. And this is the big thing, you don't want to waste this, okay? Because it's got your medication in it, okay? Where am I going to put this? When I hook it, where am I going to hook it to? What part of the pump?
What?
The wide piece down there?
Hmm?
The primary line?
Yeah, I want it to the primary now, but what part of the primary line?
The wide,
little
the
closer
outside.
there, right?
And
Oh.
you want it to go through the pump, so you've got to put the secondary up here, so it's going to run through the pump, okay? So, clean. And these screw on. okay? They screw on, all right? Most of the time, these are hanging in the room. The nurses usually leave them in there. Now you do, there's a bunch of different ways. Everybody does it different. I just hang it.
So you hang the primary low.
The primary has to be lower, okay? Some of them are really long, so I mean, some of the ones we have are really, really long. All right, so I still have this clamped, okay? So now I'm going to want to set my pump. This happens to be one of the newer ones at the hospital, okay? So we're gonna hit, and we gotta go down to dose, rate, guard, infusion, okay? Rate, guard, infusion. Enter, then we gotta go down to med surge, enter, and now this is the solution, so now we gotta go over to I for, whoops, there we
L,
go.
right?
I,
For what?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, for infusion, and then here's, remember I told you, you have all these different things?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, if I wanted, I could set this to, if it had KCL in it, I could set this on that, but we're gonna go down to IV Piggy Back, okay? So we're going down to IV Piggy Back. Secondary, wait, manner. Okay, now I want, here, and I want to set, what did I want to set it at? Which I did, 100 to run at 100, okay?
So if it's at whatever it is what it runs at? Depends on what it says.
You gotta
Okay.
decide, different antibiotics, different meds that we give are set at different rates, okay? So it's gonna depend,
Okay.
okay? If I wanted to run this in half an hour, what would it set at?
Two, because it makes you go
Right,
fast.
so some of the stuff we have, we only want to run it in half an hour, all right? So you're gonna need to do your math, or show
Okay.
me your math, all right? But it depends on the drug.
Okay.
All right, so this is gonna run in 1 hour, it's 100 cc's, we're gonna run it at 100. So once I have it set, I'm not putting limits on it, and we're just gonna hit piggyback, and it's gonna tell you then, lower the bag, raise the secondary, undo your roller clamp. Okay, it's gonna tell you that. And when you undo that roller clamp, just kind of move it, because sometimes it's really pinched. And then you hit run, okay? And now the secondary is running. And stay and watch it, you know, make sure it's running, okay? I don't want it to run too much, okay, because it goes into the... Now, once this runs in, this will automatically kick back on, okay? So it will automatically kick back on. So that's how you do secondary. Now, the problem is you got to decide if you're going to give a piggyback and you're going to do a flush. If we're going to do a flush down here, what do we have to think about?
Compatibility?
Yes. So this is saline, so what do we know?
It's compatible.
Right, we're good. All right. But what if it had KCL in it?
You'd have to flush it first before.
Yeah, but you're always going to, you know what, get into
Stop
the
it.
habit and just
Flush it anyway?
Just do it, okay? Because you don't take a chance, okay? Now, you're going to see a lot of nurses that don't, even because it's saline, and the hospital does it even a little bit different. They'll run a plain saline bag and then with their piggyback, and then they're going to disconnect it and they're going to put it up there, okay? Because the patient doesn't need fluids all the time. So sometimes you'll see that. And it just depends, okay? We'll just work with what we have to do.
You always flush it closer to the port, closer to the IV site. Yeah.
So we've already done our third check, right? Get that syringe. You know what, guys? You're going to see nurses that don't flush in between, but you know what? What's an alcohol lamp? You know. All right. So you got to put your primary on hold, or your secondary, both of them. They have to be on hold, okay?
When you hit hold, it holds both of them?
Yes. And again, it'll tell you. And I usually, I'm up to 12, and it's 3 minutes per push on your.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and push it. Give yourself time, okay? You know, we did it. So what are we doing?
Clean, clean, clean.
Okay, make sure you, and you know what, guys, make sure you're really getting in there, you know? So don't be afraid. And with central lines, there's a, you know, we really got to make sure. Because you don't know where these been. They've been downstairs. They've been who knows where, right? Now, again, they're a little different in the hospital what they look like, okay?
Can we open it prior to doing that? Because it has a lid on it. I mean, a cap on it.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, should we do the push before we do the secondary?
You know what, you're gonna have to see which drug is running, okay? It would probably be wise to do the push first. Why?
It's not.
Time factor, right? Let's get in here, get this done, and let's get the piggy and then we can leave, okay? Your time factor is your big thing. All right, if it fell down and I'm not sure, I'm gonna clean it again, you know, really gonna clean. Make sure your air is out, okay? Now, I do this, you don't have to because you have it on hold, but I happen to always clamp my hair. Okay, I'm gonna push. I'm gonna draw back first.
Make sure.
I'm gonna draw back first, see if I've got a good vein. You're gonna know. Okay, draw back. If the catheter's against the wall of the vein, you might not get a good return, okay? So if you're not getting a good return and it doesn't look like it's had any problems and you got the pump going, you know, maybe it's just not gonna give you a return. So push it a little bit and see what you're getting at the site. Push it and see. All right.
Okay.
And if there's resistance, if you're having a really hard time pushing, something's not right. Okay, so again, pull back, push, pull back. There's a little clot in there. You might be able to pull it back. So after you've given the required amount to push, at the hospital, there's a 3 cc or a central line's a 10. Okay, again, and you'll see nurses taking a 10 in, give 5, and then they'll hold this. They'll do their push, okay? Yeah, clean, clean, clean. Get a new one now. Clean, clean, clean. Then they're gonna, these syringes are pits. This screws on. I don't even know if this will screw on. Okay, all right. Again, now, how fast do we give Lasix?
Slowly, you can't get it too fast.
3 to 5. Right. So you're going to titrate it in, okay? You're going to have to watch here, watch up there on your watch, okay, and titrate it in. Give a little bit, you know, and then wait. A little bit, and wait. A little bit, and wait, okay? So that you're giving it over 3 to 5 minutes, okay? And while you're standing here, what can you say to your patient?
Ask them if they feel anything. Or
Well, yeah, but what can you say? I'm giving Lasix. What do you want to tell your patient?
Tell them what it does.
Tell what it's for. She said tell them what it does. It's going to make you go to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
tell him what's going on. This is going to make you, go to the bathroom frequently. If he's not allowed to get out of bed, this is where you're going to say to him, "I'll use your urinal," because we want to check your INO. We want to make sure that you're going. And well, you'll get with Lasix. You have to make sure the patient's able to void before you can give Lasix, okay? So you want to make sure, you want to know is what potassium level and all that crap before you give this, okay? So you really need to know what's going on with this patient right before you give, because once you give this drug, you can't take it back, okay? So I've given this, all right? Now again, I don't particularly care to use the same syringe, but as long as I haven't contaminated, you're going to see other nurses do it, they're going to use the other 5. I don't like to do that. I like to get it clean, 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 and then open this and do my second push, okay?
So if it's 10 total, break it up into the 2. I mean, the 10 is for central line.
You're going to use 3.
3. That was
But are you going to use the little threes?
Yeah.
You're going to use the little threes. There's no like pressure thing.
They're all the PSI is the same.
Oh, that's why they're so.
Yeah, the
okay.
size of the syringe,
Okay.
your PSI on those are the same.
Okay.
That's why one has 3 cc's the last time I was there, and one has 10 cc's. So again, with your central line, always 10. Okay, but with these pushes, we can do 3. And we're going to do, you're going to see, these, if they have a hep lock, they call them hep locks, even though we don't use heparin or saline locks, either or, you're going to flush with 3 cc's a lock. Okay, that's Q shift. Okay, you've probably heard them saying that.
But you have to flush before and after, right?
I did.
So what I'm saying, the 1 cc is 3 in this one and 3 in that one, so you do the whole 3? Or 1.5 and 1.5?
No.
No, she's saying that some nurses will get a bigger syringe
They'll get a
and
10.
use just one.
And they'll use a 10 cc and they'll give 5, and then they'll hold it in their hand.
Right.
And then they push their med, and then they take that off, and then they re-put this extra 5 and put it in. It's not wrong.
Right.
But I don't particularly care to do that.
So you would rather us do
I
3
would-
and 3.
I will make you do 3.
That's what I'm saying, it's 3. This is 3 and this is 3, so when I start, I'm giving this one, do the med, and then push it again with the second one, because then it's a total of 6, is what I'm asking.
Now,
Okay.
the second
That's
time
what-
you're pushing, The second time you're pushing that last flush, how fast should you push it? Okay, I've given my med, now I'm gonna flush clean after I've cleaned, I've flushed. How fast you gonna give it?
I have no idea.
Over a minute.
I would think.
No,
I would think pretty fast to get it.
No, because you still have Lasix in here.
Oh,
So you're gonna find
yeah.
Right.
So you have to push it slow, because you're now finishing putting that Lasix in there. Okay, so you've got to push slow.
So push it
Okay?
the same rate you're
The
pushing
same
the
rate
okay.
that you're pushing your Lasix or whatever,
Okay.
drug you're given. Okay, and again, this is when you're going to be doing your teaching for your patient. You know, you're going to be going a lot. You know, so make sure you're not dizzy, and you call for help when you get up, and make sure you save it, because we want to measure that. Make sure you let them know. We have to measure that output when we're giving Lasix, because we're not going to give Lasix unless there's an issue, right?
Right.
So we need to know a really good INO on our patient.
So the initial flush is fast, and then the
Nothing is fast except one drug. Nothing else. Nothing is ever fast except there's one drug we have to give it really, really fast. But no.
Okay.
Otherwise, adenosine.
But you don't have to go that slow for the first.
No, as long as you're getting a good.
The
But
first
remember,
flush, yeah.
these are not body temperature, and you're
it's a
putting
shock.
that in the vein,
Oh, yeah.
and sometimes and it's saline, so it's going to burn. It's going to burn. So you don't want to push it real fast, okay? So just push it at a nice slow rate, and give it to the patient, and talk to them, put that one down, clean, get your med, put it on, 3 to 5, take that off, get your new one, clean, and then continue to talk, to your patient as you're pushing that second saline flush slowly. All right? It's a good time. You have to stand here. You have to be here with this patient. So it's a really good time to teach. All right, so I've given my flush. All right, I can turn my primary back on, or if I've already got this set, and a lot of times I will, depending on my time factor, I'll go ahead and get this ready so that after I've given my flush, and then all I have to do is push run on the secondary, because I flushed in between, so I don't have to worry about compatibility. But it's gonna, you guys are gonna have to decide what's best for you. Now, you will never do this by yourself, okay? You will always have us on first year level with you, okay? Always, all right? Because what you're given is going, it's in there. We cannot take this out, all right? So it's when you're giving piggybacks or meds through this way, and protonic, you're all gonna get everyone will be given protonic, and it's 10 cc's. All right, so we're going to flush, and it takes a little while to get the protonic. Okay, and then again the slow saline, but they all are on protonic because they're surgical patients. They're NPO or they're on liquid diets, and that gastric, the juices, the hydrochloric acid really irritates a lot of patients. So we give them the protonic to cut down on their acidity and don't get as nauseated. All right, so who would like to try?